Swing Trade Pros family. STP Todd here, and I just want to go over a quick 5 to 6 minute video on charting and how I've set up my charts. I know a few of you guys have messaged and asked, how did I set up my charts? What are the indicators I'm using? That sort of thing. So I figured we'd just go over this quickly, and like I say, hopefully I'll keep it under 5 to 6 minutes. So let's get into it. This is the overview here. This is my 15-minute XBT chart, and I've got this saved. So this is the one that I often rely on, and I post screenshots up in Discord quite often, right? So the first thing that I'll show you guys here is I've got autosave off. I don't like the autosave feature because whatever you do to the chart, it saves, and I like modifying my charts, and then I like leaving and then reloading them the way I had it, whether it be settings or that sort of stuff that's tweaked. So instead of autosave, what I do is I will have multiple chart layouts, right? So I've got the pro account. So I've got a few different charts here. You could see SPY 5 and 15 minute, XBT 5 and 15 minute, right? And I've also got a few other ones here too that we'll get into, right? So basically from here, this is where I'm at now, but I'll be able to show you guys what I did to create this chart here on your guys' end from a brand new TradingView account. So let's get into that. So loading up a brand new fresh chart, right? Fresh chart, you can see it comes with the new volume indicator there, TradingView Basic, right? So I'm just going to get rid of that. The other thing that you'll note here is it's white theme. Some of you guys like white theme, some of you like dark. That's personal preference, right? I like the dark, so I'll turn the dark back on. The other thing that they'll load with you is you'll be on base regular candles. With the indicator, we use Hikanashi candles, and basically that's for quicker entries with the indicator. We're not relying on the candles for the price. We're relying on the candles for quicker entries, right? So I'm going to go ahead and load HA candles on the chart. The other thing from here with the HA candles is you go over to chart properties, and we're going to click this setting here, show real prices on price scale instead of HA candle price. So kind of what I said earlier, we're not relying on the candles for the price. We're relying on them strictly for the entry. So this is the real prices on a price scale. The other thing down here that is very helpful for the stock and options guys, if you do pre-market trading, that sort of stuff, is extended hours here. You could turn that on as well, and it'll create the grid lines on the chart, which will be in this, I guess, that color. So it would be a grid line here for market closed and whatnot. So I'll click OK here, and basically we're ready to rock here. Now what we'll do is we will go to indicators and strategies here, and we will start loading these indicators on the charts. So they'll come up under invite only scripts here. So let's start and load them all. There's the day trading buy and sell signals, which we use the bots on. The support and resistance lines, which is helpful to know where you're at in terms of support and resistance, identifying breakouts or breakdowns. There's the trend indicator, which right out of the box is perfect for nailing the trend. And then there's also the volume momentum indicator, which tells you volume incoming and decreasing, right? So now let's just go back a little bit here. Let's go over a few things here in depth. The volume momentum indicator is, personally, I like it because it's you're able to identify not only the current volume incoming, but you're also able to see when it wanes off here, right? So case in point, this big sell-off here. So volume momentum indicator is increasing. Yeah, that's a lot of volume pouring in. As it starts to fade on the upside, that's when it's a good time to start thinking about possible long positions. And the opposite here for when you're positive on the volume, possible shorts when it fades, right? So a lot of us use the fading aspect of the volume indicator for possible reversal entries, right? The other thing that you can do with this volume momentum indicator too is you're able to see any sort of bullish or bearish divergence as well too. So please be sure to tune into Node streams. He goes over a lot of that stuff on his streams as well. So on this chart here now, you'll see, let's say, let me move it a little bit here. So you'll see the support and resistance, right? So it's easily identifiable with this indicator. You'll see that we've got a little bit of support here at 79.18, and we've got a little bit of support at 78.33. The other thing to note here is if I were to zoom in here, you see how the support at 79.22 as opposed to the 78.31 is a little bit of a darker support line. It's thicker, in other words. That tells you that the support is greater than below. So that's helpful on multiple time frames to understand, how thick is that support? Is it any good? For instance, right here, we've got a little bit of support at 81.73. Not too much though. It's very helpful in seeing where your next price target is too, right? So currently on this chart, if we've got a little bit of support here shown at 81.75-ish, next target for longs would be 82.29 type thing, right? Whereas if we fall from here, there is not current support on this chart until 79.22. So it helps you for finding channels, and then if you guys are of the type that you want to day trade and you want to sit and swing trade, shoot, you can scalp channels all day long if you wanted. And if you hit shift and you click, you're able to measure the channel. So this is it's approximately a 3.82% channel on a 15-minute chart, right? So, whether or not you want to scalp on a 15 or you want to go to a 3-minute or a 5-minute, that's kind of up to you guys, whatever you want to do. But this is a good overview of where you're at on the chart in regards to support and resistance. And like I said earlier, the thicker the lines, meaning larger support, larger resistance, right? So now let's go back to that big drop here, and I'll show you guys a few other things. So I'm going to just make the chart a little smaller here, and that's just by clicking and dragging, right? So now I'll do that, and let's zoom in. So apologize about all the alerts here. I do like seeing them when I'm on here for the bots, so I can make sure that the bots are activated and that sort of stuff, right? So I'm going to click settings on STP day trading. That's the day trading buy and sell signals. This is mostly what we use for the bots. Now I just want to show you guys the range multiplier here. Currently 20,3 is default. I have changed it on my end for the shorter time scales. So the 1 minute, the 3 minute, the 5 minute charts, we're using 20,4. So I want to just show you guys what this does. So this is on a 15-minute chart. There's 4, there's 5. So you can see that the larger the range multiplier, the more swing style trading it is, right? So this is really up to you guys for whatever you guys want to set up your charts with. We would recommend the 20 sampling period and the 3 for the range on anything over the 15-minute. Anything under the 15-minute, 20 and 4 would be perfect for that. So I'll zoom out again here. And I want to show you guys let's show you the trend. So the trend signal is really good at establishing the overall market trend on whatever market it is, stocks, options, cryptos, that sort of stuff. So out of the gate, we don't recommend changing any of these settings here for 3 and 10. You can see it's really good out of the gate, right? You would have been short from, what is that, 99.65. And if you followed this all the way to here, you would have been out at 84.64. That is a 17.64% gain. Pretty good, right? So I would not recommend changing any of those settings, because why fix it if it's not broken, right? So you'll see a few times where you get some longs and you get other shorts that might not work perfectly as well too. that's just case in point with the chart, right? It works great on most charts, and like I say, not every indicator, buy and sell or long and short, is going to be perfect, right? There's going to be some that are not going to be perfect. So we just got to accept that, and just got to accept the fact that whatever we do, we're aiming with a 70 to 80% win rate, right? So we'll go back to it. We'll put signals back on the charts. We've went over the volume momentum indicator and how it's helpful with the fade, and you're able to enter in on longs or shorts based on decreasing volume. We've went over the support and resistance on the chart, and you can kind of see how it plays out for thicker lines for heavier support and heavier resistance, and thinner lines for lesser support and resistance. We've also gone over the trend indicator, which shows the current market overview and whatnot. But there are also a few other ones that you saw on the earlier chart here, which I had, that will load on this new one. So let's go back here and let's get into her. Okay, so what we'll do now is we're going to start loading a few just base indicators from TradingView. The first one that I like here is it's called visible range. So volume profile visible range. And what this does is it shows the buy and sell walls in certain areas, so you can get an indication of where things are going to move, right? So as you notice, if I were just to load the big drop, yeah, you see more sells than buys, right? You see more sellers than buyers, so that's why we went down. So this is very helpful to know where things are at, and it's customizable as well too. So I think if you go over in here, I've just got this change, so I've got up and downs as green and red. I think they're blue and yellow. You can just adjust them on your end, on your chart. I actually saved this as default, so anytime I load it, I don't have to change it. So I'll leave that up to you guys to do based on your preferences. The other one that I like on my chart is the exponential, moving average exponential. Some more bot alerts going on. So the moving average exponential, and I like loading a 20 EMA on my chart, and let's make this one yellow. And you can also adjust the thickness of the line too if you want. So, and whatever guy wants to do, I'll just click save as default here. So it's helpful to know, right? Anytime generally we break the EMA drastically, there's big moves. If you're looking at this sort of stuff, it's helpful to know where a guy's at in terms of market direction and previous moves. Last one we'll go over here on this is going to be the linear regression. So I'm going to click here. It's linear regression, and this is helpful because this shows the current channel. So if I were to scroll in here, so we had our big drop down. We consolidated for a little bit here. Linear regression shows the channel and current targets. So it gives you an overview on where this current channel is going. And currently right now on this chart, it's trending upwards to, a lower target of 83.10 or upper target of 85.48. This would be pending we break 82.35 resistance and 82.68 as well. So this is very helpful to know, because anytime it breaks out of, breaks out being upside or breaks down, it's also good times to monitor for possible entries, right? So, even looking here, if you see this breaking down, as long as you can see and identify that it isn't a real big move, and as long as you can identify that, yes, it is fading, you could have entered a long here once you find out that we had some support here, and then you would basically be able to have a decent entry, right? To our video here. If you like our indicators, please click the link below. There's a 7-day trial available for you users on our Discord. And as well, please click the like and subscribe buttons, and we'll catch you on the next one.